Hi, my name is Siera Theobald. I'm a student at St. George's University, and this is my windshield tour of downtown historical St. George, Utah, USA. This is also known as the Heart of Dixie. You can see my email below if you have any questions or concerns. Here's the table of contents. I will be discussing downtown St. George history, community introduction, physical, social, and economic daily living conditions of the community, local housing, social interactions, commercial facilities, recreational facilities, maintenance of yards and buildings, community resources and problems, overall impression of the community, overview, questions or comments, and references. Downtown St. George history. Some of the earliest residents include Virgin River Anasazi, Paiutes, and Dominguez Escalante Party people. It was founded in 1861 by LDS or Mormon church members on a cotton mission. In 1863, it became the center seat of Washington County, and it is still the center seat today. In the same year, the St. George LDS Tabernacle was built, and the St. George LDS Temple was built shortly after. In the 1870s, the courthouse, social hall, and opera house were built, and all of these stand and are functional today. The Dixie Academy building was established in 1911, which later grew into a college and university known as Dixie State University. And here we can see pictures of some of the buildings I just described. In this first picture here, you can see the St. George LDS Tabernacle, which was just renovated and redone to make it more functional and better looking. Here you can see the Dixie Academy, which has now been turned into the St. George Children's Museum. And here you can see Dixie State University. So the academy grew into Dixie State University. All of these buildings are very well maintained and nice looking, as you can see. All of the foliage is nice and well maintained as well in front of these buildings. There's a community introduction. St. George continues to see increases in the snowbird population. Snowbirds are people who generally live in colder climates, but they come to the warm climate of St. George for the winters. They say it's better on their joints and bones. We have many 55 and up and retirement communities here, and the median age of the population is 37.2 years old. Economically, St. George overall is supported by tourism and recreation industries. This is true for the downtown area as well. This is likely due to year-round warm weather, proximity to many national and state parks, a variety of activities, restaurants, and landmarks. The median home price is $262,000 approximately, with the average household income of approximately $56,000. 160,000 people live in St. George, Utah, and 12.4%, and St. George has a 12.4% poverty rate. There are many buses, scooters, and bikes available for public transportation. The buses go various places in St. George, Utah, including places in downtown. And there are many local groceries that are close and accessible in the downtown area, as well as in St. George itself. There are many social opportunities such as yoga studios, parks, theaters, etc. in downtown St. George. And in 2018, St. George overall was named the fastest growing metro area in the United States. Physical, social, and economic daily living conditions of the community. Local housing. Here you can see some of the older local housing, older and historical. In this middle picture, you can see kind of a dated home that is pink and older. And here in this next picture on the end, you can see a red brick building, which is actually a historical home. And in front of it, you can see a plaque talking about who built it and when it was built. And in this video, you can see some older housing as well. So as you can see, the houses are older. They're just dated looking. They're not down. They don't have graffiti on them. They just have a dated look to them. Overall, the foliage is nice and well taken care of, and the homes themselves are well taken care of. This next housing slide, you can see some smaller housing, such as this large apartment complex that was just built. And you can see a duplex housing here. So there are some smaller housing areas. And in this video, you can see a small townhome area. And there are various small townhome areas or communities in the downtown St. George area. So we'll take a look at this video. So as you can see, each home is identical and they're smaller homes. And this slide just generally shows more affordable housing in general for likely smaller families. And in this slide, we can see some of the downtown St. George newer developments or newer homes. So in this first slide, you can see a newer home that's being built. And in the next slide, you can see an extremely modern and new home that was just barely built. Here we can see places where people can participate in social interactions within the downtown area. This first picture is of the splash pad where people can take their kids to swim. The middle picture is 25 in Main, which is a cafe, restaurant, and place where bands can go and play. And here we can again see the St. George Children's Museum. Here we can see more social interaction places, which here's the Bear Paw Cafe, another restaurant. And we can see some of the shopping areas down the boulevard in downtown St. George. So Urban Renewal, AO, these are places people can go and shop. And here is a St. George LDS church where people can gather for worship. And here we can see some social institutions, so Legacy Elementary School and the Dixie State University. So as you can see in these pictures, these institutions are extremely new, very well kept. And in the rest of the social interaction pictures, we can see the buildings are very new, very well kept. And even if they're not newer, they're still well maintained so that they can be used. In these pictures as well, they're all very nice and maintained. Here we can see commercial facilities. This first picture shows some older commercial facilities or just dated. So here we can see Red Rock Real Estate, an older office building. This is an older eye care center and another just older office building. And even though, like I said, these have the dated look to them, they're still all very well maintained, no bricks broken, no windows broken, no graffiti on them. All of the plants and things are very well maintained as well. And in this photo, we can see some of the newer commercial buildings in the downtown area. So this bank, Wells Fargo, this larger office building in the middle, Golden West right here, and Red Rock Property Management. So there are quite a few commercial facilities within the downtown area, older and newer, but all very well maintained and functional. Here are some recreational facilities. As I said previously, this is one of the things that St. George's economy is known for. Here in this end picture, you can see Town Square where there is another splash pad that people can take their kids to with in front here, you can see some scooters. So that's a potential way of transportation for people. In the middle, you can see the Dixie Sun Bowl, which is where St. George holds rodeos. This is actually under construction and renovation. So even though it was worn down quite a bit, they are redoing it. And here you can see the Town Square Park right here. And that is beautiful, very well maintained. Here are more recreational facilities. Here's the recreation center for downtown. Here are some pickleball courts for various ages to play at, and tourists, whoever wants to go play there. These were actually just redone. So they were starting to be broken down, but they're redone. And here in this bottom picture, we can see Vernon Worthen Park, another park in the downtown area that is very well maintained. I frequently see St. George city officials maintaining that park. And here again, as I mentioned previously, is the St. George scooter program. where people can rent these and go around town. These are in the downtown area, and here is a yoga studio for recreation as well. Here we can see maintenance of yards and buildings. Throughout the presentation, you have seen various yards and buildings, and they've all been extremely well maintained, very nice. Here in this first picture, we can see a roundabout that even has art fixtures installed in it. Again, here in the middle is Vernon Worthen Park, very well maintained. Here you can see another angle of the splash pad. You can see all of the foliage is very nice. Not any trash on the ground, things like that. Maintenance is very good. Here in this picture, we can see a graveyard, also very well maintained, a home and business that looks great, and some more areas along the side of the road that are all very well maintained. Community resources and problems. So here we can see some community resources in the St. George, Utah area or Washington County area. The resources I've listed are actually in the downtown area. So there's the Department of Workforce Services, Southwest Behavior Health Center, Joyful Hearts, Housing Authority, Utah Parent Center, and the St. George Recreation Center are all within the downtown area. Here are some community problems that have been identified, which are crime, human trafficking and white collar, water shortage, and housing shortage. As discussed previously, and you can see in these two photos, there were some new apartment buildings built, some very large apartment buildings, and there are others scattered throughout the downtown area that were just built as well, not pictured. So this is the way the city thought to create new housing that is more affordable. So they are working on that problem. Here are some pictures of water. Here's a large water tank. Downtown St. George actually has 2 water tanks, but only one that is functional. And here's the gutter system that delivers water to all downtown St. George residents. The overall impression of the community, outstanding assets include social and recreational facilities. There are many large commercial buildings. The community's biggest challenges are water and housing. What's striking is there are many activities to do within a small proximity. Most unexpected is the many historical homes and buildings that are still functional. I'm definitely struck by the beautiful landscaping in roundabouts, parks, in front of homes, and essentially everywhere. Here's a brief overview of my windshield tour.
Above downtown St. George, or historical St. George. So as you can see, there's lots of greenery area. Through my windshield survey, you can see various recreational facilities such as a splash pad, parks, a children's museum, a rec center, and there were various commercial buildings. So some of them were older, as you could tell, and some of them were newer. Lots of newer banks and things like that. Also, the housing was mostly older as well, but it was, for the most part, pretty well kept, and there were some newer developments in my pictures as well. So, and of where I did my windshield survey, and that's considered downtown St. George. Thank you.
If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at the email on the first slide. And here are my references. Thank you.